and just being good to one another.
The people at the top collaborate, and the people that are at the bottom compete.
Find yourself, be happy, and good things will happen.
Justice for Taco Bell.
It was everywhere.
Which I've come close to freezing to death a couple times. That one's super pleasant.
What?
Are you serious?
It can't hurt walking around in life thinking that you're the man.
Yeah. You guys are doing a good thing here. This is very good.
I genuinely love this conversation.
I love the Motive Podcast.
Welcome back to the Motive Podcast. I'm your host, Leo Kosach. Alongside me is my co-host, Kyle Cohen. Kyle, looking dapper today.
Appreciate that.
You pulled up in this fit this lovely Tuesday morning. I was like, is there an event? But anyway, joining us today, our special guest to start year 3 of the Motive Podcast, a Valtronic employee and a fellow Westchester native guy, Pierce Foster. Thank you for coming, Pierce.
Thanks for having me going, guys. Pleasure to be the first episode of what, year 3?
Year 3.
Rocking and rolling.
We got to get some big guests on the year 3. You know, we'll land some sweet people. You already know. We'll see. Bro, I gotta get, like, for the 100th episode, I need someone. Like, I want to get.
Well, we had somebody in mind. Is that impossible out of the question?
It's literally impossible. All right, so I texted the one connection. So I was like, bro, can I get Brian Dawkins on for the 100th episode? And then
that's a tough ask. It's a tough ask.
I had a connection though.
So I do have connections to the Eagles though. My neighbor is a former Eagles player, so you know I can.
Is it Brent Selleck?
No, it is Todd Harriman's. Played alongside Kelsey for God only knows how many years.
Okay. I'd love to have him on for a 100th episode if he's an ex-Eagles player.
Yeah, man.
I have to talk.
I'll send his info.
So I what's it called? I reached out to our one connection last night about Dawkins. He like laughed at me. He was like, "Ha, you're not getting that." And I was like,
Did he really say that?
No. He was like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's gonna happen. I was like, all right, well, I have.
At least
to
he was
ask.
honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, prefer that than you just bull crap it.
I feel like he's also just like one of the greatest of all time. So it's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, like come up on the pod. Yeah, he's probably everywhere.
Yeah. Before we get into it, also since we're on the sports topic, can we talk about the good old Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight this past weekend? I mean, now it's like old news. It's like
I forgot we watched it together. Yeah,
we watched that together after we watched Saving Private Ryan this past Friday.
It's one way to lead into
it. yeah, for real. But absolute disgrace to the sports world.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like he's 58.
It's a money grab.
I don't know if you guys saw the locker room interview, and they're like, "Mike, how you feeling about the fight?" He's like, "Vicious win," and then he just walks away. And he's in like a Speedo, and everyone's
you see that.
What's going on?
The other even more wild clip of him where he kisses one of his friends or something like that.
That's the one he's talking about.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
I thought he didn't have anything on.
Yeah, no.
He gets vicious win and then he kisses him and then
and then I thought he walked away with nothing on.
Struts away. Yeah, it's definitely the whole best clip out of that entire fight.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like there could be some stuff created with that.
Yeah, it was tough to watch. Tough to watch, but
whatever. We're here.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I feel like people were expecting something out of it, and I don't know. That's about what I expected. I mean,
he looked solid.
Something. I don't know how he could look so good in his training
First
videos.
First two rounds, it was kind of like, okay, Mike's a little mad right now. He's doing all right, but his training videos made it look like he was about to go.
I don't know how. I don't know how his training videos could have made him look so good.
I have no idea.
And then he gets on the ring and looks like he's 58.
Yeah.
And the ring announcer was atrocious.
Yeah.
He was no Michael or Bruce Buffer.
Oh, he was bad. Yeah, he was really bad.
Wasn't the one of the announcers Cedric the Entertainer?
Yes. Yeah, that was the goofy dude we were laughing at.
Making fun of his outfit the entire time.
Looks like he's somebody auditioning to come to America. You know?
Exactly.
It's absurd.
It's so
that shook
it's
me.
so funny you say coming to America because I think I was gonna make that joke Friday and then I just didn't. So I'm glad you said that.
Dude, I don't know how you deal with these headphones. I can't. I might be having them off for the first time.
All right, it's all right. But yeah, let's coming off of that, let's get into early life as we like to. Westchester guy, you've grown up here your whole life?
Yeah, man. Yeah, born and raised here. Grew up on the other side of Westchester, so East Bradford to Pierce to Henderson. But yeah, early life was awesome. I think the biggest thing is how close I am with both my siblings. I'm dead in the middle, so we're all 4 years apart.
There you go.
So I kind of got flack from both ends growing up, for better or for worse.
Brothers, sisters?
Younger brother, he's at the University of Tennessee, and then older sister, she lives up in Brooklyn. So kind of spread far and wide, but it's nice because, I can kind of make a weekend out of it if I want to go visit either of them. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just how close I am with them. They're both my best friends. I talk to them all the time. And then I also have a really good relationship with my parents. So, growing up, obviously there's adversity when you have two younger brothers for my sister's sake. And then, I'm kind of in the middle of everything. But I think just being so connected with my family is really a huge aspect of my life, which is really cool. Yeah. It makes me excited one day to have kids and have a family, because if I can give them a sliver of what I got growing up, I made it. So
yeah,
I think that's the coolest part.
Family, wealthiest man in the world.
Hell yeah, man.
Family, because the Thanksgiving's coming up.
Oh, dude, can't wait.
Imagine when you have kids and you're around the fam and stuff. It's gonna be hype.
To think that my younger brother is one day gonna be an uncle is just not only concerning, but it just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, it's funny when I hear people our age or even years ago, in middle school, where it's I'm an uncle because I have a brother that's 20 years older, a 20-year age gap or whatever. It's whoa.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, my sister's 4 years older than me, so she's not at that age, but getting to that age where in the next 5-6 years or something, I'm gonna be an uncle, which is huge shoes to fill, but it's also really cool to kind of see us expanding.
That cool uncle.
Yeah, the funkle. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So yeah, you went to Hendy.
Went to Hendy.
Lundy.
As we call it.
What's that?
Lundy. As we call it.
Yeah. Well, you guys have only been around for the L's. My sophomore year, football, we were nasty. We showed up and put a whooping on East. It was fun.
How was the Hendy experience for you?
It was good, man. It was kind of that perfect mix between good amount of friends. Always had different sports that I was a part of. Different activities to do. Got into my fair share of fun and a little bit of trouble in high school, but everybody does.
Any pod appropriate stories?
I don't know about pod appropriate, but there's definitely some stories. That's for sure. Yeah, definitely some stories.
You graduated 2019?
I did. Yeah.
That was in my opinion, I went we were in middle school at that time, but it's that was a great time to be in high school. Even when we were in elementary school and middle school, come on, 2019 is right before COVID. Up to COVID,
exactly.
Bro, peak.
Yeah,
peak.
Dude, Mo Bamba came out when I was a sophomore. You talk about electric. That was,
I mean,
the craziest thing ever. But no, I think it was a good era. I feel we were the last of obviously we were the last pre-COVID people. So.
Well, yeah, it's and you can group yourself separate from us. I don't want to offend you if we group you into the same era,
you guys
because it's because we got to experience for me, I middle school and high school I grouped together because Fugate and East are at the same place.
Yeah.
So it's we got to experience middle school before COVID for 2 years, and you could argue we were the last class, us, that got to experience a full year before COVID. So it's
yeah, wow, that is true.
So it's after us, it's kind of the cutoff. It's crazy. I couldn't imagine going through 6th grade without the last half of 6th grade. And I got to experience you know what I mean? Even the class younger than us, they didn't get to experience one full year, and they didn't it's crazy. And people are looking at me saying this yo, you didn't even get to experience 8th grade and 9th grade, you know what I mean? Because we were still in COVID at that time. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. And I think, it definitely kind of groups together, especially COVID hit my freshman year of college. So that was kind of super strange too, going meeting everybody. And then they're just all right, yep, peace. See you next year. Maybe, so no, I think it's definitely, I think it was definitely that sweet spot right before, the world ended for 2-3 years. So yeah, that's definitely interesting to think about though.
Yeah. Did you guys do any good senior pranks?
Dude, I wish. I don't even remember if we did. I'm
There's
sure
gotta-
we
there-
did something, but it wasn't anything to like write home about. It wasn't anything
Yeah.
interesting enough to be like, oh yeah, we had a senior prank. No, we like, I don't know. I mean, we had quite a few senior skip days. That was, I guess, our senior prank. We would all just go and not show up, but that was about it.
I think we build like 5 into our schedule. That's like the norm.
Yeah, something like that. I think, I mean, my friends and I ended up taking probably closer to like 10 or something like that, just because, you know, it was like, oh yeah, you guys want to do something today? And it's like, yeah, what?
I didn't even
Why
skip.
go in?
I didn't even. We've had one so far, and I didn't skip because I was just like, I just want to see what happens if I don't skip.
Yeah.
And then I.
Is that really why? Or you just saying that?
goody two shoes over here. No.
I mean, yeah. It's also that I just hate missing school. Like I genuinely just hate making up work. So it's like I just wanted this. I just wanted to go to see if they were gonna assign work or not. And guess what? I did nothing. It was a total waste. So next senior skip day, I will be
Yeah,
participating.
you got to be
But,
in attendance. You got to do it at least once. You know?
Yeah.
I get a feel for it.
I feel you though. I didn't skip either, and I was afraid of having a ton of work, which I kind of did because I have a few classes that aren't like just senior classes. So
yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about East right now. Freaking absolute atrocious plumbing
oh my
malfunctions.
gosh.
Well, what's going on in that
Yeah,
neck
come
of
on.
the woods?
You can, I don't think there's any problem with talking
No,
about this.
there's no problem talking about this. You know, from my understanding, it was underclassmen, but I think this is a issue, with across the board. I believe some little freshmen, flushed about 80 vapes down the toilet, 80,
Yeah, that'll do it.
and
do it.
along with a couple of like Miller Lite cans.
Are you serious?
It's like, dude,
Something like a fifth period Miller
7
Lite,
a.m.
huh? Yeah.
It's 7:30 a.m.
Are you
This
sure?
first-
Is that true about the Miller Lite thing? Or like the alcohol?
I cannot confirm or deny until I see the pipes. You know what I mean? But from word of mouth, yes.
That's
However,
That's absurd.
so
Vapes definitely make sense, but
and you know they're like hot in the sun, warm. They're like, oh, I just snagged this from my dad last night. That's terrible.
but the pipes like just totally clogged up. And the best part is they all the place where they all failed and like exited to was the guidance office. Like the full guidance compound. So like that place is torn up. It got fully evacuated. Like it's actually crazy.
Yeah, it's like a hazmat
did
issue.
it really flood the entire room? Like,
So
don't
I
know what
walked down to
happened.
my study hall and I walked past the guidance office. It's like the carpets are ripped up, the ceilings are gone. Like it's like literally a war zone.
Jeez.
Like the vapes totally took out this place. Dude. Actually, like if they find out like if there's one suspect, you are done.
Yeah.
Like
There's 30 joules falling from the ceiling
Yeah,
or whatever.
because
You know?
they've had like 30 plumbing companies come out. I think they all quit. They're like, I can't do this.
It
No,
doesn't surprise me either because it's been so bad. Like I go in the bathroom like on a 6th period or something like that, and there's like 20 dudes in there, and they're all just doing their thing,
dumb.
and it's so annoying. It's like they won't even move out of the way. Like get out of the way so I can freaking go to the bathroom. Like,
yeah, it's
so
like, dude, I'm
annoying.
trying to flood over
Like-
here, and you're just sitting there.
Yeah, leave me
That's the
alone.
worst.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, that was like kind of. I feel like my grade or like generation kind of started that in a way. Like
yes.
that was definitely
Yeah.
like a massive thing, in like when I was in high school. Like, dude, mango jewel pods in the bathroom. It was a powwow. It was crazy.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember like kids in middle school were doing it. It's like when I was in 6th grade. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
you're 13.
Yeah.
Like, come
But
on.
6th grade, you're not even. I don't think.
What?
I think you're
I mean,
11 turning 12.
you're like- yeah,
It's
I think
insane.
you're right. Like I just remember middle school. It's like, bro, really? Like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Can't say I wasn't one of those kids in middle school, but yeah, I mean, I kind of figured it out after that. Yeah.
It's all right.
But yeah, man, you live and you learn, I guess.
Yeah. You still get out in Westchester at all? A lot? You got a favorite spot?
I try not to as much anymore. I feel like when I was in college, like home for breaks or even just like right after graduation, it was like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? It's like, it's kind of a no-brainer. I'd be going out. But I kind of just realized that one, I spend a ton of money, and two, like I just see the same people that I see all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily, my go-to. I'd much rather like I'm at the point where I'd much rather hang out with 4 or 5 of my closest friends and just like have a bonfire and just chill at somebody's house or something like that, or like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still go out every once in a while. But if I'm going out, it's gonna be like the Briquette. Love the Briquette. Go play some pool. Have a couple drinks. Jitters. Love me some Jitters. It's a eclectic crowd in there.
It's been mentioned on the pod before. Jitters.
Yeah, it's
by a guest.
It's the only way I could describe Jitters in a nutshell is a fever dream. Like, it is just a very interesting group of people. They have Yahtzee out back. They have like a little like porch area that looks like a little luau party, like somebody threw in 6th grade. It's like it's a good spot. I mean, nothing to write home about. It's nothing crazy, but I think the biggest thing is like I'm kind of at that like weird cusp in age where like I'm about to be 24 in a couple months, and just like I was once a college kid. I loved going to the bars in college. I had so much fun, but like you're a bit rowdier and stuff like that, and I'm like, I kind of just want to sit at the bar and like have a couple drinks, either watch a sports game or just like talk to my buddies and then go home. I'm not trying to like go hard every weekend. This isn't the Jersey Shore.
It'd be like that like Piano Man Billy Joel, like sipping a Manhattan at the bar.
Exactly. Yeah, like it's
talking with Davey, who's still in the Navy.
Yeah, exactly. Man, like it's kind of a weird disconnect, and I feel like a lot of my close friends don't necessarily go out as much anymore either. So it's I'll be around, but not as I don't frequent the town, I guess we could say.
I want to go next week. You're gone. I might want to go do Westchester interviews because the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I heard it's like night.
You'll see me out Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
All right,
that's like a national holiday.
You got to hop on an interview.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see what point in the night
the hammered interviews are the best interviews.
We'll see where I'm at that point. But nah, dude.
I will be on the street, fully charged microphone, handing out $1 bills for trivia questions. And I feel like we got to like add in another question. Here's a question I got for the street. I've seen these ones online. What's the kindest thing someone's done for you? I feel like that's a nice Thanksgiving.
I feel like that's
question.
like wholesome. Too. Yeah, especially right around Thanksgiving,
Yeah, so
you got a good mix of like troll answers and like
exactly.
There's
gonna be that one guy like just losing it in the mic. But like, no, I think that actually, I mean, now I'm thinking about it. Next Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving in Westchester, microphone. I feel like I'll just be like, what are you thankful for? A little cliche, but
I think that's good, and I feel like you're gonna get a good kind of variety of answers out of that. You're gonna get some people that, like you said, are gonna be trolling and saying whatever, like I'm thankful for beer, or like whatever it may be. But I think you'll definitely get some good answers.
It's either I go to interviews in Westchester, which I haven't done in a while, and I really want to do it, and everyone loves them. So I think I'm definitely gonna pick that. But what's next Wednesday as well is the Turkey Bowl Classic between Westchester East Puck and Hendy Puck the night before. That's always the biggest hockey game of the season. So I could do a mic'd up for that. I think I'm gonna skip that to go to Westchester though. I feel like I have to.
Really? Okay.
I feel like I have to.
I think you can also reach a larger audience.
Exactly. Exactly.
People out of the bar. It's more relatable for a lot of people. We gained so many followers from our interviews in Westchester because it's like we're just out there doing our thing. It's a brand new, like if I go to East, everyone knows who we are there. It's like there's no room to expand. So I'll be in Westchester Wednesday. Rock and roll.
But yeah, you played lacrosse and football at Hendy.
I played lacrosse, football, and I wrestled. So
Kyle Sports.
I don't wrestle, but I played the other two, of course.
Hell yeah.
That was
What position were you lacrosse?
Attack.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, I got put on attack because I played lacrosse. My parents grew up. I didn't make it past t-ball because ADHD and baseball don't really go together well.
Every lacrosse player,
dude. That's how they're.
They're like, baseball wasn't enough. It was too boring. Couldn't hit somebody, dude. And then they give me a lacrosse stick.
I'm
and
out
that
there
was history.
like catching butterflies and like picking dandelions in the outfield. But my mom played D1 lacrosse.
Okay.
My dad played lacrosse all through high school and then played in grad school at University of Missouri.
Okay.
And so I just kind of grew up like with a lacrosse stick in my hand. So always played since I was a kid. Played defense to start out. I'm a bigger fella, so played defense, and then I think I took football and kind of applied it a little bit too much to lacrosse. Then I started getting penalties, and they're like, all right, well, like, you could shoot the ball pretty damn well, you know, like, go ahead, play attack. So, yeah, played lacrosse from when I was like 5 or 6 to junior year. And then I got roped into wrestling my freshman year because they were like, we need a heavyweight. Never wrestled a day in my life. And I was like, all right, fine. Like, you know what? Whatever. I'll go out and do it. Dude, my freshman year, I got destroyed. Like, I was like, you know, I went in at like 230 maybe. And then by the end of the season, I was like 215, wrestling kids that were like 285. Like, they were cutting to make heavyweight. So, like, dude, if I was on the ground, there was no coming back.
They were on top of you. You're just done. You might suffocate down there.
Exactly. I mean, it taught me a lot about myself and, like, a lot about, you know, technique and all that. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, junior year is kind of when I called it for lacrosse and wrestling just because I was like, all right, you know, I'm trying to get recruited. I want to go play in college. I kind of just want to lift and like focus on football. But yeah, I played football from when, I mean, my first memory of playing football was when I was like 4 or 5 playing flag football at the Henderson High School like halftime show. They let us do like 2 drives and nobody knew what they were doing, but like we were just out there having fun. So yeah, I mean, football kind of enveloped my entire life from when I was very young.
How's the rivalry between East when you were playing?
I mean, dude, so my freshman year, I went and I played in camp with, you know, like the varsity guys. And I don't know whether it was just that I got really sick or got a really bad concussion or both simultaneously, but I was like down and out for like a week. And they were like, all right, like, you know, he's banging around with the seniors and stuff. Probably shouldn't have him come up now. So I played freshman ball and, you know, it was fun. You just got to ball out with the dudes of my grade. And then sophomore year is kind of really where we stepped it up. My sophomore year, I went from, you know, freshman team. I played on the freshman team and then just went straight starting D-line for varsity. So we ended up going, I want to say 9-4 that year.
Played 13 games?
Yeah, made it to like 2nd or 3rd round of states.
Okay.
Huge upset over... I'm trying to remember. I was kind of out on the main line. Big upset against them, and then went down to Springfield Delco and lost by like 2 touchdowns, which was devastating.
Springfield, Delco, and Ruston are playing district championship.
Okay, it's Delco, yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. I think so. I think it's Delco, or I don't.
Might be
it's
Monco. Monco's pretty solid.
I
but
think
one of them's good and one was bad
Delco.
this year.
All right, so I was talking with a girl that went to Springfield last week.
Yeah.
I was like, is your football team good? She's like, yeah, we could play Ruston. She had like I think she was a cheerleader and she had a heavy Delco accent. So I'm gonna go with Springfield Delco.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was
towards
Delco
on that.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, we were sophomore year is where I was just like, all right, this is real. And then junior, senior year, we went 1-10 or 1-9. Wow, 1-9.
And that's when we were good.
My junior year, yeah,
we were tough.
Came in and laid the hammer on us. 1-9 my junior year, and then 0-10 my senior year. So I went into college not having won a game since I was a sophomore, essentially, or since I was a junior.
That's literally what. And then we did that. Then
we did
2 years after that.
Yeah,
we were really bad, and then
I feel like every high school has those years.
Stevens just stepped down at East.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Literally
a few days ago, I announced it. Yeah.
He gave you the announcement yesterday, right? When this pod comes out, a couple days ago.
A few days ago, but yeah, it was yesterday. You're saying it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I mean, yeah, we were really good in 2019, and then after that, like after those few classes graduated, I think after 2021 class, it's like things went downhill pretty quick for us.
I feel like that always happens. There's always that class that graduates and like the spark kind of just burns out, and then it's just everyone trying to figure out what to do.
Yep.
And that never works when you're scrambling on how to.
But I don't understand how like a public school like Ruston, how they're always good. It feels like
it's been good literally since they started.
Dude, something's in the water over there. I'm telling you.
Maybe it's money. That's what's in the water.
Yeah,
that's what's in the water.
Yeah,
I swear.
But, dude, you're not lying.
I think St. Clair's. This is his last year too.
Really?
Yeah,
he's been there forever.
Literally since they started. I mean, he's like a legend.
It's a crazy you know, or not disconnect, but a crazy, like, how he's the head football coach and also the girls lacrosse coach. I'm like,
He's a girls lacrosse.
I didn't know that.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's like just the disconnect between those two sports has to be crazy. I don't know if there is a disconnect. I don't know if he
knows how to
coaches
coach.
the same way. Yeah, I mean, he's a hell of a coach. You know, mad respect to him.
Yeah, the only coach in Ruston history. The
yeah.
only head coach.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
crazy. But yeah,
Shout out Bayard Rustin.
yeah,
Please don't shout them out.
yeah. Cruston.
No,
I don't
no,
like
I'm
them.
talking about the guy. It's gotta be racist. You just said don't shout out.
Oh my god.
Damn, we're getting canceled on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not what we're talking about here. Rival school. We're not a fan of them. Come on now.
Yeah, man.
Even though we've had like 4 or 5 of those dudes on, but
Yeah, we have had our fair share of Rustin guys. Congrats. You know, love to see him doing well in the playoffs here. Yeah. So then college. You went to New Jersey, College of New Jersey?
You got it. Yeah, College of New Jersey, TCNJ.
So-
It used to be called Trenton State back in the day. It's gone
Okay.
through its, you know. What were you saying though?
Well, so I told Kyle what college you went to. I was like, TCNJ? Is that?
Yeah, it's TCNJ.
So we saw, we watched, you were at a Villanova game last week, and it was
NJIT.
like NJIT. So he was like, it's the same. Is that the?
Yeah, no, those are those are, you know, engineering smart people friends.
Okay.
But no, TCNJ was an awesome time. Really good school.
You played sports?
Yeah, I played football at TCNJ. Started out playing O-line. COVID hit. That was super strange. Arguably one of the best years of my life because my buddies and I secured a house down, like an off-campus house in a residential neighborhood, for that year. And so, I mean, there was like all online classes and we didn't have football practice. So it was just like, yeah, it was me and 5 of my best friends, like living in a house together. It was mayhem. It was a lot of fun. Definitely lost a couple years of my life that year. You know, we had a lot of fun, got into a lot of stuff, but, yeah, I mean, it was a great time. You know, I think my experience there, it was a really weird shift going from Westchester, where I know a lot of people from a lot of different schools because, you know, I always played travel sports. So have a lot of good friends over at Ruston, a lot of good friends at East, stuff like that. And so going to a school where I was one in my class of like maybe 7 people from Pennsylvania, I had no idea who anybody was super kind of intimidating, I guess.
Why did you pick the school?
It's a great school, man. It's a really, really good school. You know, we're the #1 public school, I believe, on the east side of the U.S. And so really good school, great business program. I went there for economics, so really good business program. You know, it's close enough to home where if I needed something, I could like pop home on a weekend, grab stuff, but I was far enough away where my parents weren't like, what are you doing this weekend? Like, you know, come home for dinner. I'm like, you know, like it was a nice balance between having space and also being able to like just pop back if I need to.
Was there anywhere else you looked?
Yeah, I looked at a couple different schools. And mainly the reason I was looking at certain schools was because of football. Obviously, you know, I had some schools where if I was like, all right, I don't really want to play in college anymore, I was going to go there. So like big schools like Penn State, South Carolina, those were 2 I applied to.
You get in?
I did.
Both?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
They're both.
surprisingly.
I applied to both of them.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
so you sound like you're a pretty good student.
Yeah, give or take. I think I had like a 3.8 in high school.
That's what I have.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like you're pretty solid, pretty good student.
I have like a 3.82.
So yeah, I don't remember the you know, meat and potatoes of what my GPA was, but it wasn't terrible. Like it really wasn't bad. You know, I was definitely sometimes not the teacher's favorite student, but I think towards the end of it, it all kind of worked out. All right.
I feel like that's where I get a little bit of an advantage is like I'm friends with like the majority of my teachers. Like I talk to most of my teachers after class.
Yeah, yeah. See, I think I have like I think I had a decent like personal relationship with a lot of them, but like sometimes I kind of like half-ass work, and they'd be like, "Yo, what is this?"
It's like you.
So, like,
It's like if you happen to flush something out of the toilet and like wipe the guy in his office like freaking Hurricane Katrina.
yeah, they probably wouldn't be too happy. Yeah, probably wouldn't be too happy. But yeah, so I was looking at those two schools, like Penn State, South Carolina, were kind of the big ones that were just sort of I applied to because, you know, I knew I wanted to play football, but I was like, all right, if I randomly get injured or something like that, I can go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like TCNJ, Gettysburg, where else? Bucknell, I was looking there. I was looking at Susquehanna. There's a couple other schools I just can't quite remember. Senior year was kind of wild, and just like the tail end of junior year, because I'd be sitting in study hall and like I'd hear my name over the announcements. They're like, "Somebody's here to see you," and I was like, "Okay." And I go down and it would be like a random coach, you know, giving me a sales pitch for 30 minutes. And so I was just kind of like trying to compartmentalize everything that I'm hearing and learning, and then also trying to figure out when I want to go and have, you know, different meetings and tours and all that. Catholic was another one of them. Catholic in DC. One of my good buddies from high school actually went there and played lacrosse, and he was like, dude, like he'd been committed for a while, so he's like, oh, you got to come check it out, like it's a really good time. I think that was definitely like my number two if TCNJ wasn't it, but yeah, man, TCNJ is a lot of fun. Roll Lions.
How many kids go there?
I think we're around like 8,000 now.
Okay.
So
It's perfect in my eyes. That'd be perfect size.
exactly. It was big enough to the point where you don't see the same people every day, but it's small enough where you can still have like kind of a large friend group, and you're not friends with everybody on campus. Yeah, we mainly hung out with a lot of the other athletes, so like a lot of the other sports teams, stuff like that. Greek life was semi big there.
frat?
I was not, but like 2 or 3 of my like closest friends were in Phi Kappa Psi, and so they were, you know, one of the biggest fraternities on that campus. And yeah, I mean, we'd hang out with those guys a lot, so we kind of just like football team, Phi Psi, we're just kind of one at the end of the day. So
I don't think I'm gonna rush a frat.
yeah, I mean, it's an acquired taste. I feel like it's definitely
It's just
depends
like-
on what you want to do and kind of like what you want to get out of your social life.
Yeah,
you know?
like for me, I am most like for work, I'm very beneficial when I just can freaking lock myself in a room and put on music and just work.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I want to have my fun in college, but it's like I want to like do what I have to do in college too. Like that's just how I
Exactly.
am. Like I'm just not a big partier. Like just
Yeah.
I'm just not. So I'm applying to all the schools I'm applying to are massive Greek life schools. So it's like it's gonna be harder, but I don't see the need. Like,
And I feel like there are certain organizations, especially within Greek life, where you can kind of manage those things. And it's not every fraternity is like, okay, you know, we're going to go throw Project X parties every single weekend. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely those kind of fraternities, but it's also kind of like
most insane pledge.
yeah, like there's also certain aspects of different frats that kind of give you the option, whether it's like a business frat or something that's kind of I feel like you have to feel out the morals and like the kind of structure of the Greek life organization to kind of understand where you would fit in.
Yeah.
And you know, I would say don't knock it till you try it. Like go to a couple rush events and just kind of feel it out.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that, then there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. Like I know at Penn State, there was like someone I was talking to in a like a sorority, like they do like a freaking wedding. Like I'm sure you've seen stuff. Like they do the frat sorority weddings. And it's like
we had those.
They drop like $40,000 on like the white tent, and it's like
yeah, we didn't do.
It's
we
like they
didn't-
literally they literally spent the amount of money that like for a legit wedding. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, this is insane.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Like, I feel like, you know, the Greek life, like mingling between the different organizations is such a massive part. But like, I mean, we had weddings for the football team when we were in college, and it was just like a bunch of dudes that would go to Goodwill and get like suits and rip the sleeves off of them, or like Hawaiian shirts, and we'd show up and just have it on like somebody's front porch, and it was just kind of like a, like getting either lacrosse or field hockey or whatever it was, kind of getting them together, and like it was a good time, but I feel like there's ways to go about it without having to be like, all right, we need to budget for this and do this, this, and that. No, you can just go have fun with like your friends. You know?
I'm also a clean OCD freak. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. See, you would have hated my college house. Both
Yep.
of my college houses, you would have hated.
Like it's like if I get exposed to it, you adapt.
Yeah.
But I like to stay neat. I will say that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Very much so. I'll say.
Yeah.
I'll
you
add to that.
can back up.
I can back
him up
that
on
up.
that.
But
Yeah.
I
not
mean-
that I don't want to say I'm a total mess, but yeah.
Yeah. You a Jersey Shore guy at all? Like, could you go down to the Jersey Shore in school? Like, was it?
Yeah, so
convenient?
it was like, a lot of my really good friends from college are from like the Belmar/Wall area, and that's I think like 40-ish minutes from campus. So we have a lot of buddies down there, and we go down there to Belmar and like, the bigger bars down there, which is a lot of fun. And then we were talking about like the Jersey Shore, like like Asbury Park or
Yeah, like a
Seaside,
go-to.
Ocean City. Well, growing up, Sea Isle,
Yeah.
born and raised. Yeah, 61st Street, Sea Isle.
Okay.
Dude,
Did your family have a house?
my mom's best friend from when she was like 13. They still have a house down there, and I mean that's where I would spend my summers growing up. So
Yeah.
definitely that was kind of a point of interest growing up. Jersey
Yeah.
Shore is always a good time.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I envy most of anyone around here.
If you have a beach
nice
house, oh man.
But when the Motive Pod gets to the moon, I will have a nice like if there. So like my parents hate me for saying this, like because they didn't grow up like. The reason we don't have a beach house is because my parents didn't grow up going to a beach house. Also,
Yeah.
that they're $5 million.
Yeah, dude.
Not saying that
minimum.
we could conveniently
Yeah.
buy one, but like they're not Jersey Shore people because they didn't grow up around here. They're not Philly people. But it's like a lot of people's parents grew up going as a kid and they work down there. So it's like it's part of the culture around here, which obviously I've grown up in now. So it's like when I'm that age, yeah, like
Yeah,
you'll catch me down there.
Like our area is the Jerry's when it comes to Jersey Shore people who like live down there. We're the Jerry's. We're the out-of-staters, out-of-towners that come in and just like have all these nice houses and then kind of
But it's
run
like-
it down there. And,
I mean,
you
Philly
know,
people make up like I would say majority population at the Jersey Shore. I mean, there's a lot of Jersey people,
There's
but like
a lot of Philly. You see more Eagles flags than you see Giants flags. That's
100%.
that's
I
for
think it's
sure.
over 50. Like obviously, if you're going up towards Asbury and like,
Yeah, the more north you go, the more kind of Jersey it is.
but like from, I mean, Atlantic City down, it's like it's
Yeah.
all Philly. I feel like
Yeah, it's a lot of Philly and Philly suburbs too. Just because it's wow,
that's where the money's at.
accessible too.
Yeah.
It's very accessible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, love me some Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I remember. So when we met at Valtronic this summer, you still had to like complete college credit, right?
I did. So, funny story about that. I walked in graduation in May of 23, and I knew I had like 1 or 2 credits. I think it was 2. And so I took like I don't even know. It was like philosophy and something else because I finished all my requirements. So I did all of my, economics requirements, did all my business school stuff. But I forget when it was. I might have like dropped a class or two, either freshman and sophomore year, or both sophomore year. I don't quite remember. But yeah, so I essentially, it's like February. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, well, I finished all my classes in December. Like, where is my piece of paper that said I did something, And so I called the school because, I figured after December was done, I was like, all right, cool, we're ready to rock. Call the school. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, where's my diploma? And they're like, did nobody tell you? I was like, tell me what? And they were like, you need like half a credit. I was like, how does what's half a credit? And I think it was like this like Wednesday 3-hour class that actually counted for like 0.5 credits that I dropped. And so,
Good catch. Sorry about that.
Going down.
so I was like, well, I'm not driving, like, I'm not commuting back to school to like do a half credit class or like a full credit. Like, that's just not happening. So I was like, I just, did a little searching, was like, all right, cool. You can do an internship and count that as a credit. So I'm like, and I'm sitting there looking around like, all right, I have a degree in economics. Well, 99.9% have a degree in economics. Almost there. And I'm like, all right, like, I think I'm going to hate my life if I sit behind a desk and work as like a financial advisor or like in the investment industry. And I had some prior experience, interning in Philly, and I won't knock them at all. I had a fantastic experience there. We were doing kind of like client outreach and also like data management for an investment firm, and it was a great exposure to that industry, but it also exposed me to the idea of this is not what I want to do the rest of my life. So reached out to one of my buddies, Dexter Bridge, shout out Dexter, and was like, hey man, do you know anybody in the automotive industry or like even just like a dealership or something that might be doing internships? And Dex reached out to Brandon and got me in contact with him, and then shout out
Ex-pod guest. Go listen to Brandon on the pod.
Go listen to Brandon on the pod, also known as Dirty 30 RI on Instagram.
Congrats on the new car.
Yeah, new G80's sick. But yeah, Brandon reached out to me and kind of went over some stuff, hopped on a quick call, and they were like, we need somebody to do data analytics, and that's essentially my entire degree was statistics and deriving stuff from raw data sets and then creating regression curves and different kind of, I guess, conclusions based on it.
Sounds like my statistics course right now, and that's brutal.
Yeah, it's not fun. No, it's definitely not fun. That's when you're like, you've done classes and you're like, oh, like, wow, I never want to do that again in my life. So, so I started at Valtronic, interning, doing some data work and helping the marketing team, and stuff like that. And that's where I met Leo this past summer. We had an awesome time. It was cool, dude. It was cool seeing you like kind of envelop yourself in that environment too. Like coming on, just taking over the pod, like helping out with other like wholesale stuff and all that. Like
I was just happy to be there. I was happy to do whatever needed because like obviously it was. I was just honored to get the job, honestly.
Yeah,
and just be in that environment around them. Obviously, I had Austin on the pod like in April, and then I just kept messaging him, and so I was just happy to be there.
Yeah, and
always down to film a pod.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing for me is like as soon as I got there and like I started working and I started kind of seeing what we were all about as a company and how much we've grown. It's like every single day I wake up, I'm like sick. Like I get to go to work. I get to go not only work with these awesome people in an awesome industry, but I also get to see, some of the newest stuff coming out in the automotive space.
Yeah.
And like, it's mind blowing. And I'm like forever grateful that I was able to take that step and that Dex, helped me take that step. And that everybody, behind the scenes has been welcoming with open arms and stuff like that. So it was July, first week of July. Is when I got, the email. They're like, all right, your half credit is done. I'm like, sick. Thanks. And, so now I'm on full time and dude, couldn't love it anymore. It's
make the
so
drive
much
every
fun.
day.
Yeah, do make the drive every day. Looking to, eventually kind of make that shorter and move out somewhere, closer to Boyertown. But no, I mean, the drive actually isn't that bad. When I think about it in the morning, it's not bad because it's like an hour, 55 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, mine's like 55, and it's like the only thing is if I go up towards like Limerick, up towards like past Marsh Creek that way.
Yeah.
It's like I swear every single day I drove up there, I would get freaking stuck behind someone going 30 miles an hour on those roads.
Yep.
And it's like and there's cops all on that route, and it's like there's very few places that if I wanted to, make an illegal pass, you just can't.
Allegedly illegal.
Allegedly illegal pass.
So I just take 100 all the way up, and it is not fun because it goes from 2 lanes. The only thing that's nice is on the way up, I do have the opportunity in a couple spots where it splits into 2 lanes and then comes back down into one.
Well,
But,
that's what I have. Yeah.
You can make some moves and like definitely kind of move up the line. But I think it's nice like in the morning having that like 55 minutes to an hour to just kind of like
I agree.
breathe,
Yep.
listen to some music,
Yeah.
just think about the day and like think about, all right, what I have to get
100%.
done. And then on my way home, I'm like a madman. I'm like, I just need to get
Oh my gosh.
back home now.
So it's funny. So I can totally relate to this because the morning, agreed. It's like just any morning drive into school. It's just like chill. It's a nice little moment. I mean, the morning to school drive, 15 minutes is like sometimes I'm just freaking flying. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I see that.
So anyway, I can relate to the Zen morning drive, but then also relate to the drive home. Like you saw me on 202 that one time when I was just like in my Subaru.
Cooking legacy.
But so
Yeah,
like
that was crazy.
202 is like equally as long. Like sometimes it'll have 202 is like a minute longer, and it's like I just take 202 because it's just like it's just more
faster
fun.
pace.
And it's just faster pace.
pace. See, it's funny because I can take 202 up to 4, or I can take 202 to 422 and then hop off at 100, and it's like maybe 2 minutes longer.
That's what I do. Yeah.
But when it's nice out, like I'll take my bike into work or my bikes, and it is kind of nice in the morning going on 100 where it's kind of like twisty, and it's also I have a little bit more room on a bike to pass some people on some turns. So yeah, it's a nice drive in. Drive home is always kind of just like that's the fourth quarter. I just need to like get home, and then I can go about the rest of my day. But it's not bad. It's a cool spot to work because there's not much there.
Yeah.
So we don't really have that many people in our hair. Like if we were closer to Westchester or KOP or something, I feel like there would definitely be a lot more
Noise
people
complaints.
noise complaints, stuff like that.
Just have your local Walmart shoppers up there.
Yeah, I mean the Walmart people love us. It's
Remember that one time we saw someone like stealing the TV from Walmart?
yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I mean it's definitely an interesting area, but yeah, I think I drove through downtown Boyertown the other day for my first time in my life, like
I
the
didn't know there
actual
was a
downtown.
downtown.
I didn't either, and
It probably doesn't mean good things.
no, it's pretty much exactly what you would expect from downtown Boyertown, Pennsylvania. It's not much going on. The movie theater, I don't even know if it's still a movie theater, but it looks like something
wild
straight out of
things
like
happening.
a 1930s like mob movie where they like individually put the letters on the sign and
yeah.
everything. Yeah, it's there's no
that.
Regals out there, let's put it that way. It's
Underdeveloped sounds.
yeah, pretty much
To put it
spot
maybe
on.
kind of nicely. I don't know if it's nicely, but
Pretty much spot on.
Yeah, and like at the shop, I was gonna say, so like as like someone running this from the ground up, I benefited from seeing how Austin works more than anything. Like I related to Austin more than anyone just because I could see how he works from someone managing other people and like building something from the ground up. Because like that's what it's like. It's what any startup business project takes. So seeing like how he does his thing
Dude, Austin is one of like the coolest mentors to have, I guess you could say. He's never satisfied, which is the best thing to have, especially as a young business owner, is he's always pushing the envelope, always wanting to do better. Not only for the company, but the people that are involved with the company, I think it's really cool to see, especially like as a young guy myself, somebody who's so wildly successful, but still has such a great sense of humility and is such a humble person and like a fun person too.
Right.
He's a very fun person to be around, but when it's time to get work done, it's time to work.
It's the best type of people.
Yeah, exactly. And it really is, it's inspiring, especially as like a young person, it really is cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Austin's the man. He's fantastic boss.
Valtronic,
the world, baby. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But so you also had a position on like motorcycle development. How is like are those out now?
So yeah,
Pre-order?
so we are doing pre-orders right now. I believe we're still in the pre-order stage, but yes, they are out.
Best
motorcycle
muffler in the
Yeah, man.
on the market.
It's that's really cool too, because like going from just like building bikes with me and a couple buddies in my garage to like actually applying things that I've learned and I know about bikes into something that is going to be on a massive scale is really, really cool. So it's the only motorcycle valved muffler that allows you to go from quiet to loud, flip of a switch, that actually works on the market. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple other companies.
Couple Timu people.
Yeah, well, there's a couple companies that I think like leaked it or like a couple years ago kind of came out with a concept that they never really brought to market. And I don't know whether that was due to, market push or whether just the consumers weren't there. But I think it's also our design is affordable, for the average person who rides a bike. It's affordable, and it's also very it's very applicable to a lot of different things. You can put it on pretty much any bike. I have a DRZ 400 SM that ran it on for a couple weeks, and I mean it works. Close the valve, and like my neighbors aren't pissed off. And then I just picked up a what is it, 2002 Honda Superhawk 996, which I got for $500 from Martin Moda, the dealership next to us.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it was just sitting out back for like the past couple of years, and I was like, yeah, how much you guys want for that? And they're like, just give me $500. So I said, all right, cool. So I've been testing that on I've been testing the muffler on that bike at home, and it's pretty cool to see. I mean, it really is interesting to see. And it's cool to kind of back that and be kind of behind all of those designs and everything. And for all the Alibaba whatever trying to expose us, I would love to show you my notebook with all of the designs and the functionality behind it. The engineering that went into it is really cool. I have like 5 pages in a notebook just with like doodles that we then turned into something that people are running on their bikes right now. Yeah. So, it's definitely a very rewarding aspect of the job. Yeah. That's for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
You got the cars too. You got the Focus ST.
Yeah. So I have
and the 3 Series.
Yeah. So I have a full bolt-on Focus ST. And I've had that since I was 17. That was my 17th birthday present. My first car was an Acura MDX, also known as Big Sexy. That car was so awesome. Bro, it was like driving a couch. It could fit me and 6 of my buddies because it had 3rd row seats, roof racks, so we could throw all of our snowboards up there, and a GameCube in the back seat on the little tiny TV. So you could play GameCube in the back seat. Like it was awesome. That car was so much fun.
Big Sexy, what a name.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, it was a hell of a car. Hell of a car. It did its job. It was my mom's car, and then she ended up getting a new one, and it went to my sister. When my sister was in college, she's like, I don't need this. So, I ended up when I was 16 taking that car, and my sister kind of needed a car at that point, and I was like, all right, like I've always talked about getting, like a GTI or a Focus ST. I wanted a WRX, but as everybody and their mother knows, you can go buy one brand new and then 10 years later sell it for the exact same price. They don't depreciate. So wasn't really in my ballpark, but my dad and I went down to Delaware, and I taught myself how to drive stick on the way home from Delaware. And now, I've had that car for close to 7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah,
cool. Are you still looking to sell it?
I am looking to sell it.
When I was in the market with the Boxer, I know I messaged you a couple times. I think my parents like honestly preferred me to buy that, but I was just like, if you want to spend the money, and they're like, yeah, I don't. Just get the Boxer.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, dude, like a Boxer's such a more unique car. Like it's unique and it's cool. You have the convertible aspect of it.
Bro, can we Valtronic? Can we make a custom 986 exhaust to make it sound like the 987? I was like, bro, because the 987 on Austin's sounds so good.
Yeah,
and
I think that's just universal mufflers. I'm pretty sure that is just like a $30 set of eBay headers that they ran into 2 universal mufflers behind the bumper. I mean, I might be totally wrong, but I think
it was the 987 full system.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
I'll have to look into that for you. I'll let you know. But
if not, I will definitely do that.
No, I feel like the Boxer is just such a more like unique, fun car to have.
And I just wanted like a German car, honestly. Too.
Yeah.
Like, Boxer has just always been on my list.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
In all honesty, it's a Porsche still at the end of the day.
Exactly. So, but yeah, the Focus is for sale. If anybody is in the market for a Focus ST,
maybe Kyle
let me know.
Get it.
It's
mob it.
It's a fun car. I mean, like, you can really wake it up with just kind of simple bolt-on mods.
Yeah.
Fully tuned on 93, which is fun. And then I have a granny spec. I say granny spec because it was my grandmother's car. A 2002 BMW 325 Ci, which is the slowest car I've ever driven in my life. But it's not meant to be fast. Nice little convertible. Got some CarPlay in it.
Sweet.
Probably gonna LS swap that in the next couple years.
Wyatt Webster.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shout out Wyatt Webster.
Yeah, he's gotta hop on this.
E92 Trav.
I texted him a couple weeks ago. I was like, next time you're in PA, he said, let's do something after SEMA. This is a shout out to Wyatt Webster.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the good fellas down there, real good fellas down there. They love Westchester. That's for sure. We've had some good times in Westchester. Wyatt's the man though.
So when we at the end of my time at Valtronic, we got moved into the legendary cubicles together.
Oh yeah, that is no longer the cubicle room.
Okay, what is that the desk?
That's like what's gonna be the conference room. And then so now the conference room is where the cubicles were, and then the cubicles are kind of in that room with the big window.
Yeah,
And
I worked in there as well.
Yeah. It's it's chilling though. I'm the only one in there right now. Okay. So it's just me with 4 cubicles, and then I have a desk that I kind of turn into like an L desk. Yeah. And they painted all the offices black, which is interesting because if you don't have the lights on, it's like you're in a cave. But it's it rocks. I just kind of go that. It's not like I need anything luxurious. I don't need any crazy office or big office. I just go there and I sit and get my work done.
Yeah. The cubicles is just so funny. Like the first time.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
So, because I remember the one time the air conditioning just freaking went. That was hilarious. Bless you.
Bless you. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I'm down the hallway. I'm talking to Brandon, and Leo just comes in in tears. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? And he's like, bro, the air conditioner exploded.
No, I said the air conditioner just spontaneously combusted.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And I walk in.
And there's just water.
And there's just, I guess it's condensation built up, but just water all over the floor. And this thing sounds like it's actually going to fall off the wall. And I'm like, I haven't laughed that hard at work in so long. I was like, all right, honestly, just turn it off. We'll just turn this one on. I was like, move the cubicles to this corner. It was, Bro. that was unbelievable. I totally forgot about that.
All right, so I have a confession. So the last day I was at work, we were sitting at the cubicles together. This is probably the funniest moment of the summer, and I didn't mean to keep this a secret for as long as I have. I meant to tell you right after it happened, and I just forgot. Literally, possibly the best prank. I think I laughed my entire 8-hour day, not even lying. And you were looking at me we still it was my last day. I was just finishing up a pod, edits, and you were like, I think it was like a slower day for you, and you were probably like looking at me like I was geeking the whole day. Like you were probably like, what is this kid laughing about, bro? Like this kid is insane. I was trying so hard not to laugh. I was in tears. I literally was crying for 8 hours trying to hold in the laughter. So I went on. So this is the best prank ever. I went on to the Valtronic customer support server.
Bro, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
And
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
I put in the most insane name of all time, bro.
Dude, I have that on my phone. I have that on my phone because I sent it to our group chat at Valtronic. I sent it to the group chat.
I put in the most insane.
You know what it was?
What was it? It was literally like the most like it was like Von freaking.
Dude, yeah,
Von
I'll find
Struzen
that.
spaghetti. It was like something so dumb, and I just sat there the whole day because like so Pierce is the person that answers the customer questions,
yeah.
and I was like, I just made up the most BS. I was like, the neighbor Susan hates. I have like a '56 Bel Air.
Dude, I have those texts on my phone.
I was like, so I was typing. I pushed send, and then I'd like in like 3 seconds after I pushed send, I'd hear the guy in the cubicle right there start like geeking, and then I had to like hold in the laughter. I had to hold in my laughter, knowing damn well I know what he's geeking at. And I'm like, yo, what did he say? And then you were telling me, bro, I played it the whole day, and I like wasn't trying to be annoying. I did it at like 9 a.m. and then I would like wait, and then like 4 hours later, Pierce would be like, "Yo, this guy's back."
Bro, the craziest thing was that he's sending me these, and I'm like cracking up, but it's like not out of the ordinary from like what we see every day.
The whole reason I did it is because like before this happened, you'd tell me like some insane like. Does the like a customer support question like you tell me like does the Toyota Super exhaust fit on my truck, and it'd be like the most obvious like no it doesn't like
yeah dude, I still remember a guy was like, can I order one of our systems for like a BMW, and he's like, it looks like it'll fit on my Cadillac, and I'm like, yeah, man, like, I mean, that's tough to say, but I think you're just not correct with that. And he's just like hammering these questions. And finally, I'm like, dude, it's not going to fit on your Cadillac. Like, just buy these, here you go. Have yourself a day. I mean, obviously in the nicest way possible, but yeah.
The answers I was getting were very professional.
I gotta find that video on my phone because I took a video of it. And that was one of the funniest things. I'm glad to know that was you because I'm not going to lie. I thought that was like Austin or my other boss texting in the chat to see how like professional I would be in just an absurd situation. I'm really glad to know that was you because I was like, dude, I was so thrown off. It was like, this is crazy.
So it was a good prank.
Oh, it was a great prank.
All right,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, now that I look back on it, that was great because I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was my last day on the job. I was like, I have to. This is it was like a perfect setup. It was a perfect setup. So
you said you almost went further with something.
No, I don't think so. I remember I ended the conversation, the chat, and I was like, great guy, loves his work, loves America, loves his job, or something.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I still have
so
that.
Dumb.
I gotta find that. Once after this, I'm gonna find that and send it to you.
I'll roll the clip.
Roll the clip. It's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was the funniest moment of my summer because like literally I would click send and I just like it was like live like hearing a reaction. It was like make the guy laugh. Send it was so funny.
Dude, I'm just sitting over there like cracking up. I'm like, dude, there's no way.
But yeah. Anyway, present day, we're here.
We're here.
Present day. Speaking of, you know Chris Rafter, musician, Westchester. He drops music tonight.
Oh,
yeah, I'm on the pod. I'm hyped because he's a independent artist now, so he can do what he wants. So he's dropping music tonight. So hyped to see that.
Yeah, I've seen him play a couple times with the Briquette.
Yeah,
he's killer. Sweet. He's really, really good.
He performed on our pod.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, bro. Speaking of music, I wrote this down. Do you know the Mew Young brothers? There's these three little
Asian
the three
guys. Little dudes. I love them.
Golden.
I love them. Yeah, I don't know what they're saying.
I gotta see this.
Oh, dude, you've never seen them?
It is the
Is
most...
it recent? Recent?
So, like, they have, like, they have, like, the Hasbulla disease type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Dude,
kind of a wild
I
way
know
of
exactly what
describing
you're
it.
talking about. Those guys are electric. Yeah.
like,
So they're like really good. Are they?
no,
like,
they're not really
recently?
good. They're just like
they're not really good. They're just hilarious.
Yeah.
They're honestly just the most entertaining little peanut singing songs.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I've seen them all over my Instagram. I think I
Is that
follow them on
derogatory to say
Instagram.
that?
Little peanuts. I mean, I feel like people would agree with me. So,
I feel like once you see it, you're gonna be like, yeah, that plays.
Okay.
all right. So, like, I mean, so it's like these 3 Chinese guys, I believe, and they're just doing their thing, and they got the like translations.
It sounds like your kind of video.
Dude, they're awesome.
I think I might have played this on the way to school, top down in my car, 45 degrees this morning. I mean, they should go on American Idol or something.
There it is. That's the best part.
See how they hit that note?
Yeah.
Chinese
How are we talking about this on a podcast episode?
I don't know. Did you see that I followed them on Instagram? Was that what prompted
so-
that?
so
Because
I
I'm pretty sure
I saw the
followed them.
video last night. This is my segue. Chris Rafter posted that on a story. Like I've seen them before, but Chris Rafter posted it in a story last night. I was like, I gotta mention he's mentioned music on the pod. Then I see these guys because Chris Rafter posted that video. He's like POV like a Chris Rafter show or something like stupid. so then
A1 marketing right there.
yeah. So then I click on the video and I think you were one of the people that liked it. So I was like, this guy, you're gonna know what's up.
Dude, yeah, I've definitely seen those guys a couple times. They're hilarious.
Yeah, they're great. What's the future look like? What do we want to do? What are the goals? And I feel like here's a question. I can't say I'm gonna ask this every episode, but we should do this more. Year 3, we talked about Luke O'Brien. Goals, and do you have any advice for us?
I think goals is just, continue to grow and develop, not only professionally, but just like personally as well. I think, I'm at that age where it's a big turning point where it's kind of like, all right, you figure out who you are, who you kind of set an example for the rest of your life. And I think the biggest thing for me is like, I love spreading, positivity and like love making people laugh. So I think if I can, tie that into and continue to grow personally, that's my view of success. I think another big aspect of it is, Valtronic as a brand and the motorcycle department there, but not only motorcycles, just as an entire company, just continue to grow and continue to show the world like why we are the #1 company, and why we stand behind everything that we do wholeheartedly. And, we have some massive things in the works right now, like really, really industry changing things, coming very soon. And as we grow and scale, I think kind of finding different positions or kind of working my way into that growth, is going to definitely kind of, in the end, obviously hindsight's 2020. I think in the end, looking back, can kind of say, okay, I was, part of that. I helped that massive growth, that massive, kind of shift from, what we're known as, and we're some of the best. We are the best exhaust company on the planet, but continue to grow and branch out into new fields. I think personally for Valtronic, I would love to see in the next couple of years us making full motorcycle systems, and definitely kind of getting involved at some like track days and stuff like that, because I think that could be massive where there's noise restrictions across the country. You could run a valve system and really get the most out of your track day. But yeah, I think like short-term goals and long-term goals all kind of coincide at the end of the day, and they all kind of blend together with just exponential growth personally. I think one thing, if I was in your shoes and I was your age and could say anything, is just keep true to yourself and keep doing what you're doing. You guys have an awesome platform here to kind of not only connect people, but just get in the minds of, whether it's like big time people or just everyday guys. You get into the minds and you kind of can extract content, but also personal stories and personal bouts throughout people's lives, which I think is massive, especially for your generation. You know, I think like with the internet and social media taking over and all these people, you know, making it massive on social media, you kind of lose sight of those personal relationships, I guess you could say. And you lose sight of like what it means to, you know, be a true good human being and like help thy neighbor and like stand with others when they're down. So I think the biggest thing I would say to like, you know, people your age is just like be true to yourself and really do what when you were a kid and you said, this is what I want to be like when I grow up, just be that person every single day. Whether it's, you know, you're the best at one thing or you're just kind of getting into it and you're just learning something. Always take it as a new opportunity because, you know, you can't change what has already happened. You can only take a step forward and be, you know, who you are to the best of your ability and also bring as much passion and emphasis into what you're doing as possible, you know. Just be true to yourself and everything works out. You know, everything works out in the end. Yeah. It's like tomorrow's a new day. You have a bad day.
Always.
Who cares? You know, slap yourself on the wrist, go to bed, wake up. It's a new opportunity. New opportunity to do good and you know, continue to grow personally.
Yeah. I said, you know, best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is today.
Exactly.
Love it. I think that's a great way to wrap this up, Kyle. I know you gotta dip out of here soon, so I didn't keep you for too long. But Pierce, thank you so much for being here.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen, for having me.
It was an honor to share the cubicles with you this summer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hope to have you back this upcoming summer.
100%.
Yeah,
I think it's even funnier
absolutely.
just like picturing you now, like seeing you in person. Like, just,
No, because like I would tell I when I did that this summer, I like told Kyle right away, and he thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Oh, dude, it made my day. Like I have that on my phone. I'll send it to you right after this. I have that on my phone somewhere, and it made my entire day. Cause like, dude, like I mean, half of what I do is just like, you know, answering genuine questions and that's the biggest thing is I love people. Like I love working with people, but having something like that was kind of just like a breath of fresh air, and I fully thought it was like a real person. So I was like, dude, this guy is having the best day ever.
No, and I was like I was sending it so enthusiastically, like,
oh, dude.
Yeah, now that neighbor, like she can shut up, like whatever.
Whatever. Dude, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Love it. All right, Motive Podcast. See you next week. Peace out.